Миний тоглоом ертөнцид топ тамирал супер хүмүүсээ лайк дараад subscribe хийх ямар туан Twitch хийгдэр үзэж байгаа хүмүүс follow хийх ямар туан. За өнөөдөр хэдүүлээ хидэн бичлэгнүүд үзцгээе. Жохон драма сонирхъя, YouTube үзье. За тэгээ дараа нь Elden Ring Night Rain-ийн шинэхэн апдейт болсон тоглоомыг үргэлжлүүлэн тоглоцгооё. Let's go. За ихний хэдэн бичлэгнүүд маань бол ганц хоёр трейлерүүд байгаа. Тэгээд The First Berserker-ийн хазаан гэдэг шинэ трейлер гарсан байна. 16 цагийн өмнө. За хамт үзье. 상관은 구현을 해결해줘요. Follow is Баярлалаа.
Rise. Your fate awaits.
хасан чи эмэгтэй болоо хуурч юм уу? 신호 같은 음식대 있는 거죠. За тэгэхээр дараа жилийн 6 сард гэж штэ броус. Дараа жилийн 6 сар. Дэжгүй болсон байна. Эмэгтэй баатар баг хүлээжсэн гэхэд бол хэлж болохоор. The Dying Light, The Beast гэдэг энэ тоглоомыг гаргаж байгааг би юусэн мэдээгүйсэн. Одоо харъя.
What can you tell me about the Baron?
He's a narcissistic sociopath. He's experimenting on humans like they're lab rats.
Damn.
God only knows what the Baron's planning to do with those monsters.
Өмнөх гарсан сайжраг юм биш үү те? Хэвэр юм биш үү? Юу? Зураглал. Бичлэг болохоор ингэ байна. Нэг сайжрсан байх юм шүү.
How big his army is. That fucker will pay for what he did to me. All the years he took from me, all the agony he put me through.
You want revenge?
Damn right I do.
Аха. 8 сард. Удахгүй гарах гэж байгаа юм да.
Kyle, E and F
is an old chemical factory south of the city. The Baron's men operate out of there.
Then I'll go there and fucking kill him.
Миний харж бол яг нэг тийм шин юм бол алга байна. Нөгөөх нь шигээл тэгээд бичлэг нь хүртэл сайжирсан харагдаагүй байна. Тэг нэг ийм мим гарсан байсан. Нэг сонирхоо.
All right, boys. I think the locals are on to us.
Man, I'm cooking in out here. This unit been dead since Bush. I'm sweating like crazy.
Hey, fool, I just finished moving this rebar.
All right, boys, no sleep.
Hey, fool, I just finished moving this.
All right, boys.
Man, I'm cooking in out here. This unit been dead. Man, I'm cooking in out here. This unit been dead since Bush. I'm sweating like crazy, bro. Even my boots got swamp inside.
Bro, I asked for help, and these fools taking a siesta like we on vacation.
Your famous pizza that you threw on the roof in Breaking Bad.
Авч ялын үзгээд л. Эндээс хэлсэн юм байна шүү дээ.
I just took 18 blinkers, 3 Zins, and some booger sugar. I can hear colors in my toes. Just filed for divorce. Okay, so I think the trees are talking to me.
We've seen what you did, Chad.
They know my government name. I just took 18.
Okay, it says, to fire, gently press the trigger.
Oh, shit.
I'm getting good at this shit.
All right, guys, it's dynamite time.
The instructions said, place the dynamite somewhere you want to blow up. So I put it next to my ex-girlfriend's house.
Yo, the feds showed up.
Okay.
Get ready, guys. Get ready.
And it's slow.
But let's just remember too, the Iranians literally throw gay people off of buildings. They don't adhere to basic human rights.
Listen, here's the thing. Let's not do that, because if we start with that it is the same.
She thinks that her in Iran is... oh, my God.
It's very different to live in the United States in 2025 than it is to live in Iran.
Not if you're black.
Not if you're black. Gentlemen. Oh, my God. That is insane. I wonder what Iranian women think of her saying that. Whenever they see some multi-millionaire who has their own TV show talking about her skin color being the same as the systematic oppression of your gender.
Not if you're black.
Guys, nobody wants to diminish the very real problems we have in this country.
No, I do. I do. They're not even remotely comparable. Anybody who's trying to bring up any U.S. problem and contextualize it around something that's happening to the Iranian people is a completely privileged, delusional retard.
Not everybody feels that way. Listen, I'm sorry. You know, when you think about the fact that we got the vote in 1965.
And when did When did Iranian women get the vote?
They don't have free and fair elections in Iran. It's not even the same universe.
We are worried. Do we have to be worried about our kids? Are there kids going to get shot because they're running through somebody's neighborhood? These are... They are not big deals, and I don't mean to say they're not big deals to you, because that's not what I meant.
And they are not doing well there either. They are not doing well in Iran. They can't go out of their house. The women...
She's realizing, bro, this is bad. Bro, even on The View, you've got to remember, like, this show is delusional to the extreme. Even over here, they're like, bro, this is too much.
You know what? There's no way I can make you understand.
Yeah, the reason why is because it's bullshit. She gives the American people a bad name. Yeah, it's unbelievable. Khamenei, like a frightened rat, has gone into hiding underground. Oh my god. Is that a real
Татвар
translation?
ногдоод гэсэн
I
гэнэ
bet
одоо.
it is. I bet
Ираны
actually, you know what?
ерөнхийлөгч.
I bet I could easily assume that they speak Farsi over there, I believe. In their language, this is absolute Farsi. Yeah, right. It's probably even worse than this. Kalamani, like a frightened rat, has gone into hiding underground and has lost control of the situation. What has begun is irreversible. The future is bright.
Эхлүүлсэн дайныг бол буцаах аргагүй гэнэ.
This is the Iranian crown prince, by the way. I guess he's been obviously displaced by the current, leadership. In these difficult days, my heart is with all the defenseless citizens. And a fallen victim to Kalamani's warmongering and delusions. For years, I've tried to prevent our homeland from being consumed by the fire of war. Uh-oh. The end of the Islamic Republic is the end of its 46-year war against the Iranian nation. Damn. The regime's apparatus of repression is falling apart. Wow. All it takes now is a nationwide uprising to put an end to this nightmare once and for all. This is how it has to change. Like, I don't think we can bomb them into democracy. I think they have to do it themselves. We can't bomb them out of religion. We can't bomb them into democracy. They have to do this themselves. I think they can. Now is the time to rise. Time to reclaim Iran. Oh shit. Let's all come forward. From Dar Abbas to Bandar Azali. I guess that's two places. Yeah. I'm assuming that these are different places in Iran that are far apart. I'm just guessing. Yeah, I'm not an expert in this. Yeah. And bring about the end of the regime? Yeah, for sure. Do not fear the day after the fall of the Islamic Republic. Will not descend into civil war instability. Damn. He gonna come back? We have a plan, bro. He coming back? Oh shit. We have a plan for Iran's future and its flourishing. Okay. We're prepared for the first 100 days after the fall for the transitional period and for the establishment of a national and democratic government by the Iranian people and for the Iranian people. This works if they do it. It doesn't work if we do it. It's the military, law enforcement, security forces, state and police. Sending me messages recent days. Do not stand against the Iranian people for the sake of a regime whose fall has begun and is inevitable. Damn. Don't sacrifice yourself for a decaying regime. I think he's right, by the way. Like, they're obviously cooked. It's over. Like, it's they might not know it yet, but it's very clearly over. That's a good question. Somebody brought this up. Is this the Prince of Persia? Yeah, wait, real quick. Think about that. Technically, yes. Man. By standing with the people, you can save your lives. Play a historic role in the transition from the Islamic Republic. Fuck yeah. Free and flourishing Iran lies out of us. Yeah, true. May we all be together soon. What a nice guy. Damn. Well, there it is. So he went and he posted that shit out, and bro, god damn, he just comes out and says it, huh? He just letting them know. So frustrating that we're supporting the killing of leadership in the country. It's basically saying you don't deserve to have negative opinions about America. Yeah, pretty much. I know that there's a lot of, gated community, like kind of, optimistic, naive people. But when you have a country that's saying that they're going to bomb you, they're talking about building a nuclear bomb. They're saying over and over and over they're going to bomb you. They're funding terrorist organizations. And you think that's not fucking around and finding out? You are out of your mind. You are out of your fucking mind. You are completely naive. You described the USA, though? Okay, so we want to kill them and they want to kill us.
Ираны чи юу н олон жил ярьж байгаа хаа тийм Даник. Айгүй олон жил ярьж байгаа шүү дээ Иранууд та нар зүгээр байхгүй бол бид нар цөмийн зэвсгээ хийгээд өөрсдөө байлтнаа гэдэг. Дээрээс хойш ярьж исэн одоо биелж эхэлж шүү дээ нэг нэгээрээ.
I'm not making a moral argument here. There's no morality with this. I mean, like, there's no morals. It's not like, oh, well, this is the right and the good. This is what Jesus would have wanted. No, it's it is about logical, pragmatic survival, and which option is the right choice. That's it. Yeah, Chatter's an idiot. Yeah, bro, why are you pro-war suddenly? I'm not pro. Why would I be pro-war? Like, Here is the concern that I think a lot of them have. Like, I don't even think that we need to be involved. I think Israel is going to do this entire thing themselves. That's why I don't want us to be involved. It's because Israel, I think, can do it on their own. And I feel like if Iran is this existential threat to everybody, then it shouldn't be on our shoulders only to deal with them. Like, I mean, I feel like that's very fair.
Fox team coverage for you. Jennifer Griffin standing by on the U.S. military posture this hour. We begin with Chief Foreign Affairs Correspondent Trey Yingst. He is live in Tel Aviv for us tonight. Trey, what's the latest you're hearing?
Jillian, good afternoon. Tonight, the IDF says they've destroyed around 40% of Iran's ballistic missile launchers.
I'm surprised it's not more, honestly.
Despite this, they are continuing to launch waves of these missiles toward Israeli population centers, though the frequency is increasing, but the capacity of the Iranian regime has been reduced, according to military officials. We spoke with the former defense minister of Israel, Yoav Gallant, who is calling on President Trump to get more directly involved in the war.
They were supporting Hezbollah when they hit the American Marines 40 years ago. So these guys are not your friends. You need to act against them and to make sure that the Middle East is clean from these terrorists.
You're calling on the Trump administration to get involved in the war.
I am sure that President Trump, who have shown time and again that he is a great leader and he is courageous and bold to take decisions, he will identify the situation. I believe that America didn't bring bombers B-2 and B-52 to Diego Garcia only for presentation.
He didn't build the bombers for nothing, right? Okay.
They are there. They are willing and they are able to do what is needed.
As the region waits to see if the United States will get more directly involved, military officials here say there are dozens of Israeli fighter jets over the skies of Iran each and every moment. I spoke earlier today with an Israeli pilot who was involved in many of the operations over the past 72 hours. He said during the first 24 hours when they arrived in the skies of Iran, they could see Iranian pilots taking off toward the center and eastern parts of the country. Guys, back to you.
Man.
All right, Trey Yingst on the ground.
So they already shot down. They already fucked up most of their missile systems already. And Putin announced Russia offers to take Iran's enriched uranium out of the country. They're like, okay, we'll take your bombs. Yeah, I could imagine seeing that happening.
Okay.
Recently, with the help of one of the world's top overclockers, we built the world's fastest gaming PC, cracking the top 20 on the 3D Mark leaderboards. And that was all without doing anything particularly horrible to our RTX 5090, which got us thinking, what if we did do horrible things? Hey, there it goes. See? Oh my God.
Oh, Jesus!
Gotta say, boys, I was expecting the wicked fast test bench, I was expecting the chunky water block, and I was expecting the industrial chiller. What I wasn't expecting was for you to put Plasti Dip all over this Asus ROG Astral GPU. Why?
Sorry.
Go fast?
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? If we want to go fast, we got to go cold. And if we want to go cold, there is a very real risk of condensation forming on our components. Now, we could insulate them, but realistically, we probably don't need to, because inside our environmental chamber, we can control not only temperatures, but also humidity, meaning that we probably won't even need our makeshift conformal coating. It just looks cool. Just like I think it's cool to tell you about our sponsor, Hetster. Hetster is based in Germany and has your data locked down by GDPR and strict privacy laws, even at their locations in the US and Singapore. Get $20 off a Hetzner cloud server today using code LTT25 at our link in the video description.
бүх нууцуудыг илрүүлсээр одоо банд болж гэж байгаа юм нэг нэгээр.
I mean, it's our GPU, and I'm sure that they would agree that we can paint it as we see fit. But what NVIDIA doesn't like is when users and board partners play around with the power targets for their cards. And this particular one is running a BIOS that allows us to run it at over 1,000 watts. That is about double of what the excellent 12-volt 2x6 power connector here is rated for. Not only that, but even with this special hybrid liquid metal compound that Splay provided for us, running 1,000 watts through this GPU could have a serious impact on its reliability and being aliveness, which NVIDIA doesn't like. This is cool. I was cleaning off the hybrid compound for a B-roll shot, and you can actually see the little balls of metal in it. That's where my nickname comes from. We've already done a baseline run with our card on air cooling, so our first step is to install this BitsPower Nebula GPU. Wow. Damn, that's beautiful. Oh, I don't know about you guys, but
what's up?
I need a cold shower after seeing these machining marks. Oh, I'm gonna install this on there, and then we're gonna do a non-chilled water cooling run to see if we can push things any further than we already have. What's this block go for?
It's pre-production, so we don't really know
yet.
Classic.
Probably around 250.
Enough that if you can afford a 5090, you don't care
He's
anyway.
gonna get banned.
All right, let's see how it goes. Now, quick question for you. For your hybrid liquid metal thermal compound to work properly, do we need to run this at an above ambient temperature for a little bit, let that liquid metal melt and spread out?
I would say it couldn't hurt anything.
Okay, that's not... Don't show that. No, don't show that. NVIDIA really never is going to send us a GPU ever again.
Do you want to take that GPU out?
Why?
Well, we're going to take it out anyway, and you're going to spill water on it.
There's a stop fitting.
This guy is pushing the limits of every tech they got sent to.
Man, BitsPower makes some gorgeous stuff. I still remember their OG
and he always
true gold
finds
and
something
true silver fittings
strange
back in the
about
day.
it.
The silver ones were brilliant, actually, because they serve a dual purpose. They look cool, and silver acts as a natural biocide, so you don't have to worry about anything growing in your loop. Wow, these have a lot of restriction in them. Can't say I love these fittings, BitsPower. Also,
if you send the product to him, you gotta be bold.
These cards sag enough.
Bold enough,
have them screwed in at the back. This one's on a whole other level. Like I cannot let go of this. It will probably break the socket off. Oh wow, it's got all the sizes and everything. Look at that. It comes with your own calipers. Perfect. Alex was saying I went too short on this tube, which could be perceived as
he
dumb,
is at the moment.
like a fox. Now it's a safety net for our poor GPU in case the seg bracket gets bumped. Now we theoretically open up the valves, and everything is bueno. What could go wrong? We couldn't figure out why the GPU is at 0 degrees. It's because it's zero frequency hertz.
Yeah, the frequency hertz.
That unit of measurement that everyone uses and such. All right, this does not look any faster than yesterday. In fact, it looks slower.
Yes.
You didn't overclock
people are
anything,
expecting
did you?
to.
I knew we brought you here for a reason.
To send the products to him so he can.
58 degrees though? That doesn't
Test
seem
it
right.
and if
Before we
it's
push
true
things
or
any
not.
further, Alex wanted to compare this score with what we got on our stock 5090, which is, whew, actually.
I don't think this is the right BIOS.
What do you mean by not the right? Oh, we hit 970 watts. Okay, I'm giving myself some credit here. Remember when I was like, hey, those temps seem high?
I remember that. I remember. Do you want to go back to the normal BIOS?
I feel like now that we've skipped the regular BIOS, we've skipped it, so we might as well just
go for it.
Plow forward, yeah. So now we could probably make some adjustments to clock speed.
Yeah, absolutely.
The idea today is to crack top 10. We haven't even pulled out the chiller yet, and we're already, well, we're not that close, but we'll get there. Just to be clear, none of what we're doing is necessary or probably even going to result in a difference that you would feel day to day. This is pretty much as fast as hardware gets as it is. We have a Ryzen 9 9950X 3D processor, which is as fast as it gets, with 8 of the cores having 3D V-cache and the other 8 cores to pick up, I guess, any slack. We have 32 gigs of DDR5 6000 CL26, and that's tuned to run at about 6200 megahertz. And of course, we have an Astral RTX 5090, which, according to Splave, is the best one.
Yeah.
Most importantly, though, it's in a Lamborghini case.
Oh,
That'll make it go way faster.
on,
You
Alex.
see this
they
carbon
do, huh?
fiber? That's plus like 25 FPS for sure.
I'm willing to bet it doesn't even affect the weight of it that much.
He has like
Oh, it's a really
never
heavy
shut up
case.
about
So
any
heavy.
product.
I bet you could lift
If
it
there's
easily.
a flaw now. That's the reason people send it.
Sorry.
Now that I know this thing's running 1,000 watts, I'm really impressed with this water block rather than disappointed.
Yes, that's the
not
biggest
heating.
reason
How much
he's
radiator
honest.
you got on this? Just a triple?
Yep.
That's a good thing we're going to be replacing that.
Bits Power did not give a thermal pad.
I
for
was
that area.
just checking that. No, they didn't.
People will
I would
watch,
strongly
though, you know,
recommend
if you're
Bits
honest.
Power, if you're watching this, or if you buy one of these and Bits Power didn't watch this, throw a little thermal pad right in the back by where the GPU power connector is. It might help dissipate some heat if you ever have a loose connection.
It's
now,
a
that's
wiki
totally
Linus.
cheating. You just set the anisotropic filtering to crap mode.
High performance, baby.
They used to call that cheating.
Doesn't have to look good. Just has to be fast.
Well, in fairness, the reason they used to call it cheating was because ATI and NVIDIA would change it around in their defaults in the driver settings.
That's true.
It's fine if I decide I want my image quality to be a little worse. It's not fine if you decide it should be worse.
This looks pretty good.
Ah, we cracked it at like 210 there. Oh yeah, what did we even do?
We just bumped the clock speed up a little bit.
Nice. This legit looks like a really good run. I don't know about top 10, but good run.
We just have to beat Jake.
Oh, easy. Whoa, buddy! What was Jake at?
Yeah, 43.25, I think.
We're 43.129.
All right, we can do better.
Oh, we're not there. 43.250. Let's chill it.
Chill it?
Yeah. Let's not just break him. Let's crush him. Do you want to do a quick explainer for those who didn't watch the previous video? You know, what all these dials and knobs mean and what order you should adjust them in? In the meantime, I'm going to go plug in the chiller.
So the first thing you do clearly is set the fan speed to 100%.
Right.
Doesn't matter on our card, but on yours it probably does. After that, I see you have the power target only at 95 and have done nothing to the GPU voltage. Would you want to play with those at all?
At home, probably. If you don't have the 1000-watt BIOS, you're gonna run into thermal problems before you hit 100%. At home, you would maybe even use, I think it goes up to like 104 or 105 on a normal card. And then I just do 25 megahertz at a time on the clock and run it. And if it passes, go higher.
Easy enough.
Easy. The voltage is tricky on 5090. It gives you a percentage.
What does that mean?
I just put it at 100%.
Okay.
All the volts.
100% voltage, sure.
And you can see that doesn't really affect much. It caps itself out. They don't really want you to increase voltage on the card when power limit is kind of the limiting factor.
Makes sense.
So we're kind of controlling power only through power target. So you can use VF curve to lower voltage, but the performance is worse. I just avoid messing with voltages and just play with power target and your core clock.
So if it becomes unstable when you go a tiny bit higher on the boost, you increase the power until you max it out?
Yeah, so say I have increased the GPU boost clock by 200 megahertz and this failed. So you could try like 95% power target and see if you pass. And if you pass, that's about all you get.
Would you ever turn down the power target and try again and see if it was a thermal issue?
You could turn down power target, but then it's just gonna take away your clock because you'll hit the power target.
Because Jake says he backed off voltage and that was how he beat us yesterday.
We run the air conditioner. So we would, by the end of the run, the card was really warm. Whereas here we're taking the heat away and it's not really going up after we've started the bench.
I see.
So by the end of the bench, we were failing maybe in the last 2 seconds.
So it's the heat.
So we just really needed like 3 degrees to be able to pass.
Okay. I got a lot more than 3 degrees for you. Our chiller's ready.
All right, let's do it.
All right, let's do it. Did you have kind of a thought on exactly how we're plumbing this up?
I was going to close these and then just remove a couple of PCIe brackets, throw them at the back.
Oh, okay. Do they just go at the back, or they could just go here?
You can just go right there too.
I don't think we need the reservoir in the loop either. I was just going to plumb around it. I was basically just going to go to like here.
Oh yeah, we can just totally delete the whole radiator if you want.
What do you need a radiator for? Radiators are for chumps.
Yeah, we've got a much bigger one.
Hey, there's a display for coolant temperature in there. Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Oh, sick. Does it go sub-zero?
We don't know yet.
Oh, neat. Okay, we'll find out. Cool. The last thing that I want to do is drain this reservoir, because if we go and we put this in a sub-zero chamber and it freezes, it will break. It's about to get real, Alex.
Oh, Jesus.
Hey, there it goes. See, that's the fastest way to drain a thing.
This is really nice how Lee and Lee did this. You just push on that.
Whoa,
whole thing comes out.
Buddy. That's awesome. It's full of water, don't forget.
Yeah, I know.
Cool. Okay, I'm just making sure you know before you, like, you know, spill water. I'd hate for any of that to happen on this shoot. It's been a really tidy, clean shoot with no spilled water so far. Hey, there it goes. Professionals. All right, let's fire up this chiller. All right, let's go. Woo! She stopped pumping. I'm just gonna give her the old power cycle here. Also, that poor pump sounds like it is dying. She moved a little bit of coolant, and then she stopped. That seems to be full of coolant.
Yeah, we can just try again.
Okay, we're just trying again. Not gonna lie, a little scared. That sounds pretty bad. We might need to prime the pump, Alex.
We shouldn't have to.
I mean, I know we shouldn't have to, but we might want to do it. That is super weird. Why? What are you adjusting?
Oh, this is the pressure.
Oh, Jesus! I got shrapnelled.
I was going to say we should put some hose clamps on those, and then I totally forgot. I brought them over.
Oh my God. It's a mess. Is de-icer toxic? It's all over me.
It's probably not great for my pants, that's for sure.
We're supposed to cool the computer, Alex, not the people.
Look at the screen.
Oh no.
And this video had so many fun moments that we couldn't fit them all in this video, so the extras are all on Floatplane. Go check it out.
Oh, he doesn't see me, he doesn't see me, he doesn't see me. No. Come on! First you call me small balls, then you say you don't believe in my ability to install a water block. Alex, were we reading it wrong?
Yeah, we're just really dumb.
Oh, this is peak cinema. Fortunately, the glass panel in the front of this computer took the brunt of it. I don't think we hit the GPU or motherboard. There's one drop right there. We hit our screen in the back, but I think she's pretty clean. Okay, so she was clearly moving it.
Yeah.
So
that was awesome.
System was airlocked.
Is there a valve shut off somewhere else? Because it seemed like it was pushing against. Yeah, because that's the out. Oh man, dude, I am super confused. Oh my God, I figured it out.
Oh, we're idiots.
The shut off. We had the valve closed on the CPU block. We're lucky we didn't blow up that GPU block.
That would have been fine. We know that they're good for over 200 PSI.
That's true, we didn't, well, not that one specifically.
This pump only does like 100 PSI.
Our Canadian healthcare doesn't cover your chemical burn, I'm sorry.
I probably have better coverage here than I do at home.
Okay, let's do this thing. You ready?
I guess it's...
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
All right, we did it.
Is door overclocking always this exciting?
Not as explosive as this usually.
What do we think is safe to set the chiller at? Right now it's at 23.
Yeah, lower. I bet we could do like probably 12 or so.
Yeah, I was gonna say 12.
All right, give her a sec. She's chilling. She's just chilling, you know? Jumping right into a benchmark. Already, I think we're, what, 5 degrees cooler than we were when we were relying on ambient air to cool our loop down?
Exactly.
And did you change any settings or anything, or are we just hoping it's gonna...
More clocks.
Okay, we're still in the 1,000-watt BIOS, hey?
Yeah.
And we're at 43 degrees?
Yeah.
Wow, so it was really heating up that water before.
Well, I think the bigger thing now is that the pump just is ripping compared to the V5.
43,810.
There we go.
All right.
Whoa, buddy. Okay, let's submit that, buddy.
LTT right here.
Let's go number 17.
More?
Take that, Jake. Honestly, though, Alex, she's struggling to pull down.
Yeah, what's on the go?
Well, 1,000 watts of GPU.
Oh, that is a thing.
Like, does this not have 1,000 watts of capacity?
It has 5,000 watts.
Oh, well, on the one hand, we're pretty upset about our industrial chiller not working. We think maybe there's been a gas leak of some sort. because she's pulling down, the compressor's running, but the condenser's not hot, and it's not pulling down to the temperature quickly, and it's actually going up while we run our benchmark. The good news is that we just hit 44,000, so is that still 17th place?
44.
Oh, wait, we took your own spot. Ha! Ha ha! Normally I'd be thinking, okay, we'll just get an HVAC technician to come out and fix our system, but the problem is that Alan's got a flight to catch. So if we want to go very, very sub-zero, we're gonna have to come up with some ideas. Hey, look, I found an idea. Oh, yeah. Now that's a radiator. We throw this with a bunch of high-speed fans inside the environmental chamber, and we can chill the loop down that way.
Ooh. Oh, that's pretty fast.
Spicy.
Even though the chiller isn't chilling quite as well as we hoped, the pump in it is still fantastic, and our scores just keep on going up.
I'm trying to find 3,000 RPM fans, but they're all mixed in together with the 2,000 RPM fans. Hello. Huh. Yeah, that'll do nicely. Here's what I'm kind of vibing. Huh? All right, I got a plan.
Bam!
What are you doing?
I am making a shroud.
Why?
Because if we just put the fan against the radiator, we're gonna miss out on probably a solid 60% of the actual cooling capacity of that radiator. Dude, this is gonna be awesome. Heck yeah. Oh, dude, see this is what I'm talking about, okay? So we get the fan off of the fins. Boom. We're making use of all that airflow. Boom. Oh, I wish I'd centered it. Well, it's done now. So this is gonna be sketchy. Shield your virgin eyes.
Gorgeous.
All right. So now, theoretically, all the airflow will go through the radiator. We have a cooling solution. Side quest complete. You have obtained this friggin' thing. Okay, here we go, boys.
Oh my God, what the hell is that?
That,
Oh my God.
my friend,
All
is
right.
a radiator and a fan. Whoa, buddy!
Oh, that's fast.
We're working over here.
I was working, what are you implying? I made this.
Beautiful.
Oh wait, did I ever get a pump? Okay, well I found a reservoir, so we have that.
Well, what I was thinking was we still use the chiller, even though it's not chilling too good. That pump in it is insane.
Okay.
So we put the chiller back
Are we gonna
there.
lose a lot of our cooling though?
Maybe?
Use the res pump thing we were using in here or no?
Yeah, we could just use that one.
We could do that.
Yeah.
So wait, where does this put us? Oh dude, let's go! Let's go! We're top 10, baby! Let's go!
Not even cold yet, right?
In terms of raw actual numbers, we're not even that far off some of these scores.
Yeah.
Do you think she's got more left to give?
I think she does.
All right, I'm excited. She's still schooling.
Wow, that is.
So I think she's gonna cool your GPU there. I think we're good. So we're just gonna use this, and we're just gonna set it up in there. Oh, she's chilly, boys. She's chilly. So it flows out here. I feel like we could do that. Okay, I'm gonna run the power out to Alex. All right, how are we feeling about this?
Mid.
We call that a Canadian W. Feeling mid. Okay, here we go. Wait, should we take the tempered glass off?
No, I just throw it in.
Okay. Oh yeah, bud. No problem, bud. Okay, so we got the radiator here. Love the 011 case. It's designed so you can reach right through it when you want to get to your janky sub-zero water cooling radiator in your environmental chamber like that, see, bud? She goes into the radiator, up the top of the radiator, down to the GPU. These are stoppered. Then we got this here. Oh, there's some tubing. And then if you want to give me like a cable tie or something, then we can come off it here. You never grow up, you just get better toys. Let's get some windshield de-icers. We don't have a funnel by any chance, do we?
Man, I really hope that this doesn't leak.
That's good, we're gonna need another bag, I think. All right, Alex, you wanna power cycle it? Dude, the coolant's at 16. And that's with the door open.
Reese, are you hitting the fan?
Yeah, go for it.
And this is how you set records, I guess.
Well, depends. We haven't gotten there yet. Hey, we got a great view of all the displays and everything. So our coolant is at 8 degrees and our GPU is at 12. That actually checks out. That sounds about right. That at idle, our GPU would be a few degrees above our coolant temperature. We're gonna see that delta grow once we're actually running benchmarks and stuff, but this is a very good starting point. You know which delta I'm actually most impressed by, though?
Damn.
How close our coolant is to the chamber temperature.
Yeah, it is really close.
2 degrees off. That's how much air we're moving through that radiator. Fear it. How's them temps? You like them temps?
Nice,
Good temps?
nice.
You seem okay? We're at minus 0.5 and our loop's at 4 degrees Celsius. GPU sitting chilly at 6.
This worked surprisingly well, given that our chiller stopped chilling.
I can't believe we pulled this solution out of our butts. Okay, so we're at 30C on our GPU right now. She's running pretty smooth right now, eh?
Yeah.
45, 349.
Ooh.
We're in 7th?
7th. That is a whole gigahertz over the base of like a Founders Edition.
Damn. It didn't even take very much work, did it? Just judge for me.
Whoa, this is gonna be a pretty nice run.
I think so.
Oof.
Yeah, we haven't even failed yet, really.
Oh. Shouldn't have said anything.
Why did you say that?
Did you see that?
Why did you say that?
We've been finding that the 50 series does this really weird thing where when the load drops, like you're not hitting it 100%, the frequency just goes to the moon for some reason, and then it crashes.
45, 354. That is a touch higher, isn't it?
Oh, no. 5 points.
Yeah, okay. Hey, look, I'll take it.
So you don't think that giving the CPU anymore will get us any more score?
Probably not. Intel actually scores a lot higher on this 1400 series for some reason.
Oh.
Well,
like,
darn.
If we would have used one, we would probably won first. Sorry.
This is what we get
Too
for
late.
building a computer that's actually for gaming instead of for getting higher benchmark scores.
Exactly.
Oh, that is fast.
Oh, 6?
6.
We're going for
Number
5.
6.
Let's go, baby.
Let's go top 5. Actually, we're the top AMD result now.
Top AMD.
Top Canadian.
Let's go.
All right, how much is this drawing? Oh, it's not too crazy. 900 watts at the moment.
Okay, 1028.
Yeah, 1,000 and a bit.
No
That's
biggie.
about what we expect. That's what we were doing before.
Here we go. I believe.
Come on.
We're just shy of minus 20 on the chamber. We don't want to go too much lower than that. Once you start hitting minus 30, things don't like you.
That's what like the juice in the capacitors of your power supply just starts turning into solid not juice.
She's artifacting. Nah, she's artifacting.
Whoa, that's a fun one.
Oh wow, we're starting to get some really weird reported numbers there. Well, our RAM's on the sun, so that's probably going to be a problem.
You ever feel like if you don't move, it'll pass?
Yeah.
No, she
Oh, I kind of almost just want to restart the computer and see if that helps it.
Okay.
It seems to be a bit confused.
I like it.
What makes this a Hail Mary run exactly?
I don't even know what I set, so just see if it works. What do we need, like 50 points?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, not much.
It's always the last 50.
We're at our full minus 25 now, so there's nothing more we're gonna get from more cooling. Like we've kind of been changing multiple variables as we've gone here because we've been adding more cooling capacity as we've been tuning it, kind of building the train as it's flying down the rails.
Come on.
Oh!
Is that enough, boys?
Whoa, now that's a Hail Mary if I've ever seen one. Is that her name, the astronaut?
Mary?
What, Katy Perry?
No, it's Mary. 45.
Fourth!
Number 4, we're top 5, let's go! Let's go, Canada! Let's go!
Damn. And these are LN2 scores.
Really?
Yeah. So.
We went faster than LN2.
Yeah, man.
Why were we able to beat an LN2 rig with a processor that really is not as optimized for this benchmark? What did we do right?
So
what could the people do?
They're using a D too. I think it's maybe slightly less performance.
Got it.
But I think the cards might shut off at like minus 40. So we're almost there, I guess, cooling wise.
Understood. That makes sense. So do you think if we had a 14900 in here that we would have a shot at top 3 podium finish? That's 500 more points. That's a lot.
So I talked to Safe Disk, and he said he tested it, and it was about 1,000 more points. So we maybe would have been up top here. I'm sorry. I'll go home and do that. Okay.
Okay, I'll send you the chamber. Yeah. That's a nice card you've got yourself there.
Not bad.
She seems pretty binned. It looks like you might have a shot at #1 with that thing.
Are we happy with this?
I'm really happy.
Yeah, that was great.
Like we're as high as we're gonna get. We squeaked past Ralph. Squeaked past.
It's a really fast computer. Should we game on it?
Be kind of silly if we didn't.
What's the cost of the system plus the chiller?
That's not a bad title.
50K gaming PC?
Yeah, how fast is a $50,000 gaming PC? Never mind that most of it is not the PC. I can't believe we hit top 5. Let's go.
Never
Let's go.
We were getting ready to pack up.
That's why he's so big, because he's full of shit. Can I win Counter-Strike now? Oh yeah, there we go. Oh, now we're going fast, boys. Just got him. Got him. Look how fast that kill was. Damn it. Wait, our FPS isn't even that good. Oh wait, we're at 1440p.
Yeah, she doesn't look that bad.
Let's go. Headshot. Boom. Damn it. Oh, how can I miss all 3 of those shots? And he ain't even a pro.
Maybe his computer's in a giant freezer too.
That's probably it. He probably out-freezered me. Ah, hopeless. How'd I miss that? Come on.
Good movement. Good movement. All right.
Come on. No! Pew pew. I give up. Oblivion Remastered. Here we go, boys. Okay, we're running at a casual 560 frames per second.
Oh.
No. She's good. She's good.
No, I don't think it's good.
Oh, she's not good.
No.
She's not good. She's bad.
That's a wrap.
Wrap, just like this segue.
That you're gonna wrap.
No, to our sponsor.
Micro Center, rated #1 in PC Mag's 2024 Reader's Choice Awards. It's clear that Micro Center is the place to shop for your next gaming or work setup. With close to 30 locations all over the US, they've been dishing out deals and providing excellent customer service, technical knowledge, and support for decades. Speaking of deals, from now until the end of May, they have deep discounts on over 150 desktop PCs, like this absolute baller gaming rig, or this space-saving all-in-one solution, both from HP. And residents of the Bay Area rejoice! Their new Santa Clara location is set to open anytime now. So use our links in the description to shop Micro Center's May desktop deals, and to make sure you get your free flash drive when you check out their new Santa Clara location.
Huge thanks to Splave for coming out. Thank you for watching. If you guys are looking for another video to check out,
there you
how about
have
that time
it,
Splave
boys.
came and we got a CPU to a...
Next.
As my Twitch experience, I even hear his voice. Yeah, no, yeah, well, sure, yeah, no. That's about... Okay. Yeah, I mean, sure. Yeah, true. Probably, yeah. The average ass...
What happens when a CPU gets too cold? Well, we know when the opposite happens and it gets too hot, that the CPU overheats and loses performance. So what challenges do we face on the flip side when a CPU gets colder and colder? To find out, today we're going to be experimenting with some alternative ways to cool a PC. Starting off simple with the box fan. Placing it right up against the motherboard will give it tons of airflow to help dissipate heat. But as of right now, we're only moving around room temperature air. So by introducing some bags of ice, we can lower that surrounding air temperature. And just like that, we have our first cooling setup. So let's turn on the PC to see if it actually helps. With the box fan turned off, we can see the normal temperature of the CPU in this system is around 39 degrees Celsius. And so now if we crank up the fan to its highest setting, anecdotally I do feel tons of cold air being blown onto the motherboard. And if we take a look at the actual graph, you can see that the temperature has already dropped over 10 degrees Celsius. Honestly, that's not too bad, but we can do a whole lot better. So we'll remove the ice in the fan and replace it with a modern marvel, the air conditioning unit. I found this portable one on Craigslist for $100, which is cheaper than some AIOs, but it will require some modification to work with our system. Essentially, we need to create a direct connection from the output of cold air on the AC unit to the CPU itself. And thanks to a bit of duct tape and elbow grease, we're all set. And now the AC unit's liquid refrigerant is basically directly cooling the air in between itself and the CPU. With that, we can power on the computer one more time. So after logging on and setting up our monitoring programs, we can again see that 37 to 39 degree base temperature. Powering on the AC unit reveals that its default temperature is 66 degrees Fahrenheit or around 19 degrees Celsius. It quickly spins to life, spewing out out hot air in its back in tandem with the cold air out the nozzle. And again, anecdotally, this air feels even colder than the setup with the box fan and ice. And it turns out it can get even colder, going down to its limit of 62 degrees Fahrenheit or around 16.6 degrees Celsius. Taking a look at the CPU temperature graph, you can see that we're starting to walk our way down towards the high 20s, low 30s. But this is just getting started. After the AC unit has had some time to warm up, or I guess cool down, we end up hitting 19 degrees Celsius for the first part of this experiment. But the temperature drops don't stop there. Over the course of a few minutes, the CPU temperature continues to decrease until we hit our first single-digit measure. That's honestly absurd and shows just how good the AC unit is at cooling our PC. But can we do even better? Of course we can. It's time to break out the dry ice. You want to see something crazy? This here CPU is room temperature, and there's no speeding up in this video. After being in contact with dry ice for mere seconds, the entire IHS starts to frost over. This happens because dry ice is simply that cold, clocking in at negative 100 degrees Fahrenheit or negative 70 degrees Celsius. So what happens if we use it to cool our CPU? Well, we'll grab a chunk of the dry ice and then put it on top of this conveniently placed heatsink. And now this is one of the most absurd things I've ever seen. You ready for it? Keep an eye on this temperature.
I'm down on my luck, she's turning.
That's right, it drops to 0 degrees Celsius. 0 degrees! And it would drop further, but the measuring tool just simply doesn't go below 0. And remember, this is passively cooled with the dry ice. There's no fan moving air around this. It's just the dry ice. It's safe to assume that the CPU is hitting temperatures between negative 60 and negative 70 degrees Celsius. And at these temperatures, the first signs of trouble start to transpire. But before we talk about that, I'd like to take a moment to thank today's video sponsor. PCBWay is a one-stop shop for all of your tech tinkering needs. From custom PCB fabrication and assembly to 3D printing, CNCing, and even injection molding, PCBWay offers quality manufacturing delivered right to your doorstep. It's a great service to make that side project you have in mind come to life, but even if you don't have a project in mind, PCBWay's open source community has you covered. Every week, a handful of user-generated PCB files, 3D prints, and other designs are showcased for you to view, get inspired, and to try out for yourself. This Sheikah Slate project, for example, looks really cool. I love it when you can find little Easter eggs baked directly into the PCBs themselves. So if you're up for it, here you can also vote on the designs that you like the most and even submit your very own projects for others to see. But now, if you're still a bit hesitant to get started with custom boards, another thing to consider is that when you register a new account with PCBWay, you'll also receive a $5 welcome bonus, and the cost of 10 custom PCB boards also happens to be $5. So definitely worth checking out to get you over the hump. Thanks again to PCBWay for sponsoring today's video. You can check them out with the top link in the description below. Now, returning to our dry ice CPU experiment, if you take a close look at the heatsink and surrounding motherboard, you might be able to notice these small droplets of liquid starting to form. You might think this is due to the dry ice melting and turning into liquid, but the thing about dry ice is that it evaporates when it warms up. It doesn't turn into liquid at all. So these droplets are coming from somewhere else entirely, and the culprit is condensation. The same thing happens when you place a cold glass of water on the counter during a hot summer day. You'll notice the outside of the glass becomes wet due to the temperature difference between the cold air inside and the warmer air outside. When air is cooled to a temperature below its dew point, its moisture capacity becomes reduced, causing airborne water vapor to turn into liquid. So these droplets on our computer are not melted dry ice, but actually just H2O, which, as you may know, does not mix nicely with electronics due to its keen ability to conduct electricity and cause electrical shorts. So condensation poses a serious issue when a CPU gets too cold, but what are some ways to circumvent this? The answer, surprisingly, can likely be found in your bathroom medicine cabinet. If you've ever watched a video of an extreme overclocker preparing for, say, pouring liquid nitrogen directly on a CPU, you might have noticed that their first step is covering the motherboard in a coat of Vaseline. This hydrophobic coat acts as insulation between the motherboard and the surrounding air, creating a barrier for water vapor to form on it when it condenses without it being directly in contact with these sensitive electronics. And as a side note, nail polish can also be used for this same effect in place of Vaseline, but is slightly more of a permanent solution because it's a lot more difficult to clean up. Alright, so condensation is a problem that can be accounted for, but what other issues crop up when we reach these sub-zero temperatures? Well, to find out, we now need to take a closer look at our thermal paste. Serving as the layer directly between our CPU and heatsink, thermal paste's job is to replace any and all air pockets between these two surfaces to more efficiently transfer heat. And it does a fantastic job at this between the temperatures of 130 degrees Celsius at the high end and negative 50 degrees Celsius on the low end. But wait a minute, we're outside the bounds of this range now, leaning much closer to negative 60 and 70 degrees Celsius than the limit of negative 50. And so outside of this range, you can quickly see how stiff and rigid our once viscous thermal paste has now become. Depending depending on the chemical ingredients and makeup of our specific thermal paste, this rigidity will often lead to the paste cracking. And when this occurs in our PC, it introduces gaps in our cooling system with air taking its place, which means at this point our thermal paste is no longer bridging our heat source and our heat sink, leading to very inefficient thermal transfer. On top of that, this situation becomes even more drastic if we have any type of liquid metal thermal paste inside of the IHS of our CPU. And while it's not the most common situation in the world, it's certainly familiar to overclocking enthusiasts to put some liquid metal inside of a CPU. At room temperature, it certainly outperforms normal thermal paste, but in these extreme cold situations, the liquid metal becomes even more rigid than normal thermal paste. And due to its proximity to the actual CPU die and caches, it presents an extremely dangerous threat of physically scratching these internal components. The solution this time around is simply to use thermal paste that's specifically made for these really low temperatures, and to avoid using liquid metal thermal paste altogether. Alright, so now that we've circumnavigated the threat of both condensation and the cracking of our thermal paste at these temperatures of around negative 60 to 70 degrees Celsius, it's time to get even colder. And I mean a lot colder.
Damn.
To do so, we need to leave the confines of our studio and find a cryogen lab. As the CPU's temperature drops lower and lower into the negative 200s of degrees Celsius, we in fact can enter an entirely new form of computing altogether, specifically the world of quantum computing. Quantum computing requires quantum CPUs, and inside of these quantum processors, even minuscule amounts of heat can cause errors within the storage of qubits, which are essentially the building blocks of a quantum PC. Because of this, we need to store a quantum CPU at temperatures colder than space itself, which is mind-boggling. But if dry ice can only get us down to around negative 70 degrees Celsius, how in the world can we get nearly 4 times colder than that? Well, one method that is currently being used by researchers is a cryogen-free dilution refrigeration system that has several stages of cooling mechanisms, but mainly relying on the evaporation of helium isotopes as a refrigerant. This allows space to be cooled to fractions of degrees above the coldest theoretical temperature possible, which is also known as absolute zero, and for context is around negative 273 degrees Celsius. That said, there is an alternative cooling method being explored to replace these large refrigerated rooms, and this new method has proven to allow for similar types of extreme cooling while keeping the rest of the room at normal temperature. And the solution is none other than lasers. That's right, this is the cutting edge technology of laser cooling. Through the process of launching specific wavelengths of light at a microscopic level at individual molecules making up an object, laser cooling can add momentum in the opposite direction that these molecules are currently moving, which in effect slows everything down and massively reduces the temperature of the entire system. It honestly feels like it's out of a sci-fi movie or something, but it actually works, which is incredible. Now currently this method has constraints about cooling large surface areas, so for it to cool the entire surface of say a CPU might require some time. But that said, if this technology can scale to the point where you can install it inside of your own PC, well at that point your CPU will be very close to becoming a superconductor. At these unfathomably low temperatures of approaching absolute zero, your processor would effectively be able to transfer electricity through it with no resistance whatsoever, also leading to no heat whatsoever. Which, if you ask me, is the ultimate endgame for a cooling system within your computer, one that produces no heat at all. So therefore, yes, there are certainly challenges when a CPU gets colder and colder and colder. But as we've seen today, the benefits of having a cold CPU far outweigh the consequences. And in our typical PCs with liquid or air cooling, we actually never have to deal with these consequences anyway. But that said, this was still a fun topic to explore. So that's all I have for you today. I'm Mr. Yeaster. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Stay cool out there, but not too cold.
It took me 10 years.
I see what he does there.
So a couple of months back, I tried VR on my racing sim, and it completely blew me away. So much so that I just spent half the time looking around the cabin in disbelief. Everything just looked so good. It also made me get rid of my triple ultra-wide monitor setup, because once I had experienced that realism and depth perception in VR, there was no going back. But this rabbit hole goes even deeper.
What is that?
This is the latest VR headset from Pimax. It's called the Crystal Light. Basically, they reached out and said, hey, you want to take this thing for a spin? I had one look at the specs and I said, yes, I need to test this thing out immediately.
Damn.
Most of my time spent on my new racing sim, though, has been actually with this thing here, the big screen Beyond. And for those who haven't seen my initial video with it, yeah, this is it. This is the entire VR headset right here. It still completely blows my mind. 127 grams, micro OLED displays, 2560 by 2560 resolution per
Nice.
eye, magnetic 3D printed face cushion. I mean, come on, like what else could you possibly want? Well, actually, a couple of things. First of all, the field of view on this headset is quite narrow at just 102 degrees. It's fine, I mean, you do get used to it, but it's just not really optimized for a simulator. And then secondly, I'm guessing because the headset is just so freakishly small, the lenses are also very, very small, which means that the optical sweet spot, the amount of vision which is in focus and extremely clear, is very small. It's basically just the center. And that is why I'm so interested in this. FOV 130, and the lenses are way, way bigger. Pimax outright stating the much larger optical sweet spot. All of that while actually having a higher resolution and refresh rate than my big screen beyond. The specs on this thing are absolutely huge, but also so is the headset. I mean, dude, take a look at how massive this thing is. It just doesn't even seem real when you put it next to the big screen beyond. It's just a mind-bending comparison. This thing is over 6 times the weight at over 800 grams. But also, for sim racing, I actually don't know how much this even matters. I mean, I'd be way less forgiving here if I was playing VR games, standing up, moving around, and you know, looking down and stuff like that. But I mean, I'm putting this thing on, I'm sitting down, and occasionally, looking around, and that's pretty much it. I'm not happy about the extra weight, and I'm not saying it doesn't matter at all for sim racing, but if that extra bulk comes with extra performance, that is a compromise I'm willing to make. I was actually able to get the Pimax feeling pretty comfortable, but only because of this thicker face cushion, which is a small add-on. Without this, the Pimax was not a nice fit at all. But with it, yeah, it's actually pretty good. With this thicker face cushion as well, your eyes are offset a little bit further back away from the lenses, which for me made a world of difference to like how comfortable everything felt. I don't know, with the stock face cushion, I felt like my eyes were like a little bit too close and I was almost like cross-eyed, just didn't really feel natural. So if you're planning on getting this headset, definitely get the thicker 15mm cushion. But yeah, here we are in Assetto Corsa. I've got it fully loaded with all the mods. I've spent like so much time tweaking it, making it look like super, super nice. We've got these like amazing